Joining me here on the show is Kenny the Jet Smith. How are you, Kenny?
My main man, what's going on, man?
How are you doing, the king of Lifrac City in Toronto?
Hey, I got a trivial question for you.
What do you have?
The only pick to be in the dunk contest
Yes.
and the three-point contest on the same night.
Would that be you, Kenny?
There you go, man. Way to go, man. Way to pump me up, man.
How did you do it? How did you fare on that night when you did both?
Not well. I was tired as hell.
Well, I mean, but you understand what I'm saying, that now it seems to me that the three-point shot is almost as exciting as the dunk, because the dunk has been sort of dunked and answered, right? I mean, it seems that what more could people have dunked over cars? They've gone through the behind the back, between the legs. I mean, what more can you possibly do with that?
There honestly, we're doing a dunk show that's going to air later this year, and there are more dunks. These are the regular guys doing a dunk. Oh, it's incredible. But I think because of Steph Curry and the way he has elevated the three ball, he has made it a must-see watch, you know? His ability to win games just on that, being able to stay behind the line, has changed the dynamic of what that shot is. And the accuracy of what he shoots it at, everyone thinks he might not miss.
Yeah, and then but there's also, and it's not just him. You got, I mean, that's a star-studded list of guys who are shooting threes, including Bosch, right? A big man who's going to go out there too. Whereas it seems a lot of the stars don't want to dunk anymore.
Oh, you know what, though? There was cachet in the three-point contest. Larry Bird was in it. You know
that's
what I mean?
true.
So now, the best players, when you have I don't care what it is, what contest it is, when you have the best players in it, I think that elevates the contest. So now that the best players, they're not afraid of the competition in the three-point contest. They're like, okay, I'm going to show you I'm the best three-point shooter. Where in the dunkers, the guys who can do it now think that it's going to hurt their brand to be in a dunk contest multiple times or more than once, or even in it. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. So when the best players are in a contest, it's always going to be exciting.
That's Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT. You'll be part of that coverage with the dunk contest and the 3 points and the rest of All-Star Saturday night. What was it like when Michael was doing it, when you were there in that building and Michael was at the slam dunk line, and it was all new and it was fresh? And what was that like, Kenny?
Well, you know what? I'm never there when Michael was there.
Oh, is that right?
But I've never seen a building, playoff time and or even maybe NBA championship, the way Vince Carter had the building.
Huh.
And that was I've never seen a fans be that electric. Rich, check this out. Okay.
Sure.
You know how everyone dunks on one side of the floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Vince Carter, after his first dunk, about his third dunk, everyone was on the other side of the arena was running to the other side of the arena so they can get a better look. I've never seen anything like that. So half the arena was full, and then the other half was running to the other side every time he was about to get the dunk.
Okay.
Incredible display by
I think that was in 2000 when Vince Carter had that big slam dunk.
2000.
Right? Kenny Smith joining me here. All right, let's talk about the association here and now. Let's start with the Clippers, because you were here back in April in studio right next to me at this desk, and you said that if the Clippers didn't get to the promised land, that you'd break up the big three of Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin, and they went through extra lengths to make sure that they didn't do that. And now here we are with Blake Griffin suspended for beating up a team employee. What do you do if you're the Clippers, Kenny?
It's time to move on. I think, it comes a time. I don't know if it's moving on with him, but if they don't win a championship, I'm full to it. It's time to move on. I just don't think that three. I don't think that three together has really elevated past anyone's expectations. They probably met, but I don't think they've gone past like certain things. Like Golden State would say, they surpassed our expectations even last year and this year. Now, you say San Antonio. At times they. I don't think at any point have I ever looked at the Clippers team and wow, they're surpassing expectations. So to me, it's time to move on.
Well, would you trade him, trade deadline? If there's another team, like, say, okay.
I don't know if it's DeAndre. I don't know what it, but I just don't think the way it's constructed, those three guys play well enough together. I just don't believe that. I think that they're great players individually. Chris Paul is probably, as you see now, without Blake, can still carry a team where people were like, oh, we know he didn't know. Chris Paul can carry a basketball team.
Yeah,
he's doing it. They're 18-4, 19-4, whatever they are, without Blake Griffin. This guy can do it. He just doesn't choose to do it. But, someone has to go. Someone's got to go.
Yeah, he had 30 and 10 last night. I mean, Paul has been on fire in a way. Do you think OKC trades Durant, or they just decide, okay, if he leaves us, he leaves us, but we're going to try and win it right now? What do you think?
Look, I don't know if I'd be the one that said I pulled the trigger to let KD go. I'm like, I think I'd have to ride it out, and then at the end of the summer, if he didn't want to be there, I'd say, well, where do you want to go? And we'll make a deal and get you more money. And we'll sign you and then trade you there.
Kenny the Jet Smith joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So Cleveland, better team without David Blatt as the coach? Yes or no? What do you think?
I think we both know David Blatt got the raw end of that deal. I mean, this is what's crazy to me. Here's a guy who's at the top of the Eastern Conference, right? Mm-hmm. He went to the finals last year, top of the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, in the East, in his division right now, as when he was there, he gets fired. Last place team, Philly, gives that coach an extension. Where else does that happen, man?
Hey, man, it seems to me that Philly's making moves to make that might be done because the league office has put pressure on them to say, you can't be tanking this, obviously. That's what that seems like to me, Kenny. With that and Colangelo and the whole bit. I mean, that's what.
But you give the guy, I mean, think about it, though. The guy who's in first and went to the finals get fired.
Right.
The guy who's in last place and won, less games last year gets an extension.
No, hey, look, and I saw McHale sitting in your seat the other night. I mean, to me, that was crazy, too. Giving McHale the bounce.
I needed a night off, man.
I know.
I needed a night off.
No, but just the fact that McHale wasn't coaching is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying.
No, trust me. I understand the idea of getting out of the chair every now and then. Trust me.
No. I think 4-7. It's the culture of the league, and I think that's what makes me a little bit nervous. I think that the inability to be realistic, in your expectations and being able to really evaluate where your team is really, is lost now in the NBA. Because I heard everyone was saying, well, they got blown out by Golden State, so they can't beat Golden State. I'm like, okay. So you're going to compare your team to a team that's about to do something that no one in the league has ever done, ever in the history of the game. So your comparison is to a team that never did anything. You're breaking history. If you're comparing yourself to that, then you should be every year comparing yourself to the 72 Bulls and saying, well, we're not as good as the 72 Bulls. We need to fire our coach. If you do that, then that makes sense. But this team is going to break that record. And they're going to be a team that does something that no one in the history of the game has done, and you're comparing yourself to them. To me, that makes no sense.
Kenny the Jet Smith joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And what's going on with the Knicks? What's with Fisher's firing? There's all sorts of strange stories out there as to why he got the gate. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, I just think that it's unfortunate for Derek, but I think some of it, I think it started with the whole Matt Barnes incident, and then now when you lose 9 out of 10, you're out of the playoff hunt where everyone thought maybe there could be 6, 7 seed, at worst, and if they got lucky, they can move up to 4. 5, people were talking that at the beginning of the season. Oh, talent is there, especially after we saw Porzingis for the first time live instead of in a highlight. We were like, whoa, he really is what those highlights say, So I think that was his demise, without question.
And last question for you. What are you looking forward to most this weekend? Is it the Mamba? What else? Anything else? What do you?
Well, a couple things, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. But the Mamba for sure.
You got it.
Mamba is kind of it doesn't have the Magic Johnson effect when he came back to the game, but that's going to be great to see him. It's like Michael in his last game, All-Star game. I think it was in New York, his last All-Star game. That was incredible. So I'm looking forward to those 2 moments for sure. And for me, man, I just overall big announcement tomorrow morning for the new partnership. Kind of curating and matching NBA players with companies and brands. that typically aren't able to get that type of influence for
Okay.
their brand. So doing that tomorrow morning with MJJC and Ventures, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Got my annual party, man.
Okay.
We're here tomorrow night
Me
with
too.
JBL, presented by JBL, man. They've come. We got the headphones. I'm going to send you some headphones and speakers, courtesy of JBL, man.
You got it, Kenny.
You my man.
If it's free, it's
know?
me. If it's free, it's me. And before I let you go, crow about your daughter. You wanted me to tweet about it. I tweeted about it. Tell me,
Oh,
go
man.
for it.
Yeah.
Because you're definitely not the most talented member of your family, Kenny. It's not even close.
Without question. Her single's blowing up, right now with Rich Homie Quad, Do You Remember? So go to iTunes and download it. That's all I'm going to say. Put money in her pocket to take some out of mine.
Have a good time in Toronto, Kenny. You take care, okay?
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Same here at the Jet on TNT.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.